I'm Jay Stone. Welcome to another episode of my show exclusively at rockmetaltalk.com and Stone Chrome Radio. That was The Watchers by Seven Factor, which is a brand new track off the EP that's about to be released. They're taking pre-orders, and I have Seven on the phone. So welcome to the show. How are you, Seven?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, good. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate you taking the time to do that for us at rockmetaltalk.com. So let's get right into it. I just played The Watchers. What is the song about?
That's a hard one, actually. We'll kind of leave that up to whatever the interpretation wants to be. I never really talk about what songs are about.
Right, I hear you.
It's a weird thing I have.
Yeah, most of the songs I've ever written, they're about nothing. It's just a bunch of words together. But
yeah.
So you were in Human Factors Lab. What made you take the time and the decision to ditch that and go straight to Seven Factor?
Yeah, that was a really tough call. I had Human Factors Lab for like 10 years, and we did some cool stuff. We did a bunch of tours. We did about 12, 13 U.S. tours. Toured with great bands, Mushroom Head, like about 4 times. Toured with KMFDM, actually, back in 2011. Did a bunch of tours on our own and really enjoyed it. But it got to a point where I was starting to feel boxed in creatively. I was feeling like I couldn't, like there was an expectation of what we were and what we wanted to do, and I kind of wanted to start growing outside of that, not just musically, but artistically as a whole, and just have the freedom to do completely different, out-of-the-box kind of things. And I felt that in order to do that, I kind of needed to just do something completely new altogether, not just move on with what Human Factors Lab was. So it took me a while, and I put, you put 10 years into something, and I was the only, I was the founder of the band. I was the only permanent member out of the whole thing. I always just had different people involved that I worked with. So to take something that was so much of my life and say, okay, I'm just going to end that and do something new was a tough decision, but I'm glad I did. I mean, it was one of the best things I ever did, so it worked out really well.
Right, I hear you. I don't blame you. I understand feeling boxed in and all of that, so I could definitely relate.
Cool.
How did the fans react to it? I mean, you got a ton of Facebook fans. I mean, the Seven Factor page alone has almost 600,000 likes. How was the reaction?
Yeah. That's kind of part of the whole thing I was talking about. I really wanted to explore some out of the box things in ways of not traditionally like a typical band would do. I didn't want to, and basically what I mean, like as far as delivering artwork and expressing art, and not just, okay, we're a band, we're going to put out an album, we're going to do a tour, here's a music video, and then 18 months later, rinse and repeat kind of deal. I wanted to expand other things into video production and photography and just writing in general, and all kinds of artwork as a whole, incorporating all different themes, horror themes and futuristic themes, all different kinds of stuff, and bring it all into one. And we also kind of started doing some other stuff where we made it not just a band. It's a giant art project at this point that's centered around a band. So it seemed to work fairly well with the social media, and we found ourselves like, oh my God, we're at 10,000 fans. The band's been around pretty much exactly a year. So, it took off really fast. We're like, wow, we're at 10,000. Oh, wow, we're at 100,000. And now it's, over 500,000. And it happened very rapidly. We had a lot of things that we're doing that went viral and, as social media tends to do. So,
was what were these likes? Are they all organic, or what? A lot of this is paid promotion. A lot of these bands, I was dumbfounded. I was telling people today about how many in your fan base, and it's incredible. It's mind blowing.
And they are all organic, absolutely. And not only, and we've answered this question a lot, obviously, because it's like, how the hell does a band or a project that's been around less than a year do that,
Right.
And so immediately it's like, oh, you guys are buying likes, or you guys are paying for advertising, or this or that. And the thing is we haven't bought any likes at all. We haven't even done Facebook ads or anything like that. We've not put one dime into anything. It's all been through very strategic social media marketing. And one cool, we have our organic stats. We have that many likes, but our organic stats, we reach anywhere from 60 to 90 million people a week. And if you actually look at our page, it kind of reflects that, because we have fans that are always sending in photos, and
right.
We encourage a lot of fan interaction. A lot of what we do, the fans are a part of that. So it's like, okay, we don't just want you to view our artwork, be a part of it with us. Let's do this together. And we want to connect with fans on that level. We want to inspire them to create artwork based off of the artwork we create, and create more art,
Right, because I do see, like, a lot of the fans, sorry to interrupt you, I do see a lot of the fans that send in selfies, or whatever you want to call them these days, with 7-factor on it. I mean, just from liking the page, I see this on a daily basis. 10, sometimes 20 times a day. So it's actually awesome. Now, the artwork that you're posting, I see your logo on a lot of things. And are these images that you're actually taking the photograph yourself, or?
With the photography, we have two different things we have. One, we do have photography that we create. The other thing is that we, kind of expanding on what I just said, we encourage the fans to submit artwork that they created that's inspired by our artwork. So you'll see a lot of stuff that fans submitted that incorporates our logo, or sometimes even the name and stuff like that. So it's kind of a 50-50 on that.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting that you're incorporating art, because there's not too many bands that could do that and do it as successful. So
sure.
With that said, like, what is your biggest demographic as far as the country that you're most, where you have the most likes and stuff like that? Because I see such a wide array of people when I go through the fans, or people that have contacted me because you're coming on the show. These people are from all over the world. I'm intrigued by the whole thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's a recent thing. I don't know what it. I'm not 100% sure what happened. Our biggest is obviously where we're from, which is in the States. We did some South American press, like Chile, Mexico. We had some interviews that we did for magazines down there, and it was obviously effective, because we had a huge influx of just Hispanic fans, whether South American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, stuff like that, came to the page. So it's weird for me. Oddly enough, as a Floridian, I don't actually speak Spanish myself, but half our comments now are in Spanish, and I'm just like, okay. So like Google Translate has been a lifesaver for me to be able to maintain the level of interaction we have, because we respond to all our messages. We make it a high priority with the way we operate, that we respond to every message we get. We respond to all the emails. We have a phone number that people call and leave messages or text us. Like, what's really, really important to us is being able to connect to fans on that level, And even though we've experienced a rapid growth in such a short amount of time, we're trying very hard not to lose that, which a lot of bands do. They get more successful with what they do, and they start reaching larger audiences, and a barrier comes up. They become less approachable, less reachable, things like that. And that's something that we really don't want to see happen at all.
Right, because I think that the more accessible you are, I know it's a pain in the ass to be bugged all the time, but you still want to be able to have a fan come up and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Like I seen the dude from Rob Zombie a few times. I mean, you know, you could just walk up to him and be like, "Hey, dude, what's going on?" You know what I'm saying? He's just that type of guy.
Yeah.
So it makes it that much more interesting that you go out and see a concert and that person's walking out and walking around the audience and checking out the band that's playing before him. So it's really cool. So let's talk about the EP a little bit.
Sure. Actually, I wanted to touch on what you were saying just there a minute. One thing we get a lot of emails, a lot like messages and stuff, and we respond, and people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you responded!" You know, like we like make their day, and it's like, you know, you're a person, I'm a person. You took your time to sit here and message me and be like, "Hey, you know, that song you wrote, that video you put out, that artwork really got me through a tough time. It made me happy today," or whatever. As a person, why wouldn't I, at the very least, say, "Hey, thanks." It takes 2 seconds, you know.
Right.
And it's the same thing with shows. You know, we have some pretty big shows coming up that we're excited about, and it's like people are like, "Oh man,